we're going to find out that 58-year-old men are 58-year-old men, no matter what they look like.
Right.
And Jake Paul is a 28-year-old athlete in the prime of his life.
Yeah.
Look at how fake this fight is. Tyson could have ended it with a knockout here, but instead, he chose to just run around and do nothing.
Actually take a chance at Mike Tyson not being able to do what he used to do.
Joe Rogan completely tore apart the idea of a Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul rematch. He didn't just criticize it, he trashed it entirely. While Tyson is a legend in boxing, this whole scripted fight situation has started to chip away at the respect people have for him.
Fight was scripted. Everyone is talking about this on X, and the script was actually leaked on X a few days ago. Now this script has went viral. Let's see how accurate it was. The opening bell rings, Tyson is showing flashes of his old form, which actually happened. As soon as the bell went, Mike Tyson came out with that head movement pushing forward. Immediately he stalks forward with his signature bob and weave.
Even Turkey Ellick, the guy with more money than sense, made fun of Tyson by offering $700 million for a rematch, as if testing how much Tyson would sell out for. In the end, both Tyson and Jake Paul backed off, acting like they suddenly had more important things to do.
Yeah, but you know, you got to take that payday. I mean, what did he make out of that fight? He probably made $10 million.
Yeah. And Jake Paul's very smart, man. Like he gets guys that he's bigger than.
Younger
the only time
than.
he fought another boxer his size was Tom Fury, and he lost.
Don't worry, Joe Rogan stepped in and gave a clear, honest take on why this rematch is never going to happen.
What other sport would we let a 58-year-old man compete other than golf?
Right.
Yeah, but
You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we letting this happen?
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but he's made for it, man. Like he's made
Mike
for it.
is?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Listen,
what he is.
Dude, he's perfectly capable of knocking him out.
It's even harder to watch because on November 15th, Tyson, the guy known for knocking people out, looked like he was sleepwalking in the ring. His punches barely landed, his footwork was missing, and he seemed like he didn't want to be there. Fans started wondering if he was out of shape or just not trying, and some even thought the whole thing was scripted. This wasn't the Tyson we'd respected for years. This was a Tyson who looked like he'd rather be relaxing than fighting.
The Tyson versus Paul script was fully leaked all the way down to the bow Jake did in round 8. This profile on X posted it anonymously one day before the fight, explaining everything before deleting it.
Joe Rogan didn't hold back, calling the whole fight a joke. He mocked Tyson's weak punches and slow movements, even calling it a con job. Rogan said Tyson wasn't there to win, but just to collect a paycheck, and when you think about it, it makes sense. Tyson didn't look like someone trying to prove he's still a champion. He looked like someone just going through the motions to get paid. It wasn't about legacy, it was all about the money.
Let me ask you your opinion about last night. Did you stay up to watch Mike Tyson and Jake Paul?
I actually did. I actually watched it, and I felt, while watching it, I felt disgusted. Disgusted at Jake Paul for putting this together, knowing that Tyson was 58 years old. See, I'm a fighter myself, and I once tried coming back at 48 years old, and my body just shut down.
Here's where it gets interesting. Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, led by Turkey Ellick, stepped in with a $700 million offer for a rematch.
Now, His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh, he wants to see the rematch between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, and he's now offering Mike Tyson $700 million.
That's not just pocket change. That's the kind of money that makes you forget about your legacy and start dreaming about mansions. Sure, Tyson is a legend, but for $700 million, I'd probably step into the ring with Jake Paul too. Who cares about legacy when that kind of cash is on the table?
So when you're gonna fight a 28-year-old like Jake Paul against Tyson, who is a legend, he's a national treasure, a world treasure. I felt a little disgusted, not on Mike Tyson. I feel bad for Tyson, but you know what? I'm proud of Tyson. But Jake Paul, hey, if you want to fight Zurdo right now, let's do it, and he will knock you out.
Then there's Jake Paul, the guy who's turned questionable fights and viral moments into a career. Love him or hate him, Jake knows how to grab attention. He's not winning fights for his boxing skills, he's winning the drama, the clicks, and the spectacle. He's like a walking reality show, and that's why he stays in the spotlight. When the Tyson rematch was canceled, Jake still came out on top because he didn't have to face someone who could actually challenge him. Instead, he keeps riding the wave of controversy without taking any real risks. It's smart. Why risk getting knocked out when you can stay relevant with a canceled fight?
Such an incredible fight and bring it to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
It is not something a surprise or not. We have a lot to fight.
Joe Rogan is clear about Jake Paul's boxing career. It's not about sportsmanship. It's all about views, headlines, and drama. To Rogan, Jake is in it for the fame, not the competition. Why take the risk of a real fight with Tyson when you can keep the hype alive without exposing your lack of skill? For Jake, avoiding the rematch is just a way to keep the clicks coming. Why risk getting knocked out when you can keep pretending to be a champion? Meanwhile, Mike Tyson's legacy, once built on fear and respect in the ring, seems to be slipping. In his prime, Tyson was pure dominance, but now it feels like that greatness is fading away.
It's like, people don't understand what a champ he was. Like, he wasn't just the heavyweight champion of the world, he was an executioner.
From 1985 to 1990, he became the youngest heavyweight champion in...
From 1985 to 1990, Mike Tyson made history as the youngest heavyweight champion at just 20 years old. At his peak, he was destroying opponents with brutal knockouts that left everyone in awe. His raw power was unmatched, and his presence in the ring made even the toughest boxers hesitate. But now, in the later years of his career, Tyson's decline is hard to miss. The man who once terrified his opponents is now stepping away from rematches and avoiding public discussions about his past performances.
Wasn't the Tyson-Jake fight, wasn't that amazing?
Yeah. It's amazing they got paid so much money for that.
25 million and 40 million?
I think 20 and 40.
Take, for example, Tyson's refusal to rematch Jake Paul after their first fight, which many people believe was more about show than real competition. Tyson seems to have shut the door on any future fights, and that raises questions about his legacy. Joe Rogan doesn't hold back on this topic. He called Tyson's unwillingness to rematch Paul a betrayal of the fans who once admired him. In a 2024 podcast, Rogan criticized Tyson, saying he was choosing comfort over the challenge of redemption in the ring. Rogan went as far as saying that Tyson's refusal to fight again damaged his once untouchable, undefeated legacy, which lasted until his loss to Buster Douglas in 1990. Now, Tyson's actions seem to show that he cares more about avoiding risk than reclaiming the glory of his past.
Is he a legitimate boxer?
A legitimate boxer, yes. People mocked me when I was saying that before, but now I think people are coming around.
Tyson's hesitation to return to the ring is something fans are still trying to figure out. Sure, his age plays a role. He's 58, and at that age, athletes start worrying about their health and the risk of injury. But it's not just about age. Tyson's health has been a concern for years, with years of tough living and injuries taking a toll on his body. Many believe that Tyson's reluctance to take on rematches isn't just about his physical limits, but also his fear of how the public might see him. He knows the risks, but more importantly, he understands how fragile his reputation is.
A lot of things about this.
You're just a big fight fan.
Yeah.
You love boxing.
Yeah.
Yes. Why? Where did that come from?
From the youngest generation.
Would another poor performance, or worse, a knockout by Jake Paul, damage Tyson's legacy forever? In a way, Tyson might be scared of proving what everyone's already whispering, that he's no longer the baddest man on the planet. So why would Tyson, a man who's already made a fortune, risk his health and reputation for such a huge payday? It seems clear that Tyson's decision was driven by one thing: money. At 58, he probably doesn't need the money to survive, but with such a big offer on the table, it's hard to say no, even if it means hurting his reputation. Saudi Arabia, led by Turki Elik, has been investing a lot in bringing major sports events to the country.
It is not something a surprise or not. We have a lot to fight before, and we're in the kingdom, we are focusing in a lot of things.
Saudi Arabia has been working hard to become a global leader in entertainment, hosting everything from Formula One races to boxing events. Even though Tyson's punches aren't as sharp as they used to be, his name is still a brand, and the $700 million offer wasn't just about the fight. It was about bringing him back into the spotlight. making a statement and drawing attention to Saudi Arabia. This fight would have been a huge spectacle, but what's the personal cost for Tyson? By accepting such an offer, Tyson may have given up everything he once stood for. In the 80s and 90s, Tyson fought for titles, respect, and the love of competition. Now, it seems his priorities have changed, and whether he admits it or not, he's trading his legacy for cash.
He's now offering Mike Tyson $700 million to knock out Jake Paul. And it's all coming from...
Sure, many fighters have made similar moves. Ali did it, Floyd Mayweather did it, but Tyson's situation feels different. He wasn't just about the money, he was a street kid who fought his way to the top. So when Tyson takes a multi-million-dollar deal for a rematch with Jake Paul, it feels like he's betraying everything he worked for in his prime. This situation paints a sad picture of Tyson's career after boxing. Instead of cementing his legacy with real challenges, he risks being remembered not for his brutal knockout power, but for taking gimmicky fights just for money. The man who once ruled the boxing world is now just another part of the spectacle-driven entertainment industry. And that's not how people wanted to remember Mike Tyson. He was supposed to be the icon, the fighter who gave it all in the ring, the one who made his opponents fear him. But now, his legacy could be tainted by decisions that seem more about money than being a true champion. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and stay informed. Stay tuned for more updates, and let's keep our news accurate.